Hello, Martin of TTR again. Just finished painting on the metal, which is this one, and it is Leadbelcher from Citadel Paints, and I'm not sure if there's any equivalent out there, but it is the old bolt gun metal, so it's a dark metal color. And you see I completely painted the bolters and the chain sword, anything that's going to be metal, the frag grenades, his neck grooves, the back of the knees, as well as the grills for all of the models here. And it's not focusing. There it goes. It goes into focus, as you can see here. And the thing I want you guys to all notice is that I was not too liberal, but not exactly detailed as well. I used a dry brush method, and what I did was hit the grill, not 100% painted on, meaning like from top to bottom, but just sort of touched the highlights of it. And I was purposely not careful. As you can see here, I got a little bit on the green armor on that left leg, and on the mouth grill a little bit on the outside. And what that does, that it helps detail out the model, sort of making it look like natural highlights. And then if you use your imagination, natural wear and tear on the armor. And when it's all the way finished, it's going to look really good. This here, the tube was painted total metal, but you also notice I dry brushed on the edges of the black, and I'm going to go back over that with the semi-gloss black in the middle and leave the edges metal, and that makes it look really good. Also makes it look like it has a little bit of wear and tear, and then highlight it naturally as well. So that's this particular method. Also, what's really good, I went back and I noticed that the Dark Angels have their weapons painted red. So I went ahead and dry brushed over the parts that are going to be red, which is right in here, and that gives a good light base so that red will pop. And everything's always good in threes. So this is the first layer. The second layer will be a darker red, and then a light red, and then possibly a highlight of like an orange. That might seem like a lot, but it's the lazy man method, and believe me, it looks a lot better than trying to glob on red, because you're going to end up putting 5 or 6 layers of one red on there, and it's going to be actually more work to do that. So anyways, I'll show you the finished method, and as of right now, I'll talk to y'all later. Hello, TTR with the next update. What I did was add white to the models where it's going to be a different color, lighter shade, either red or parchment. If you take a look at here, the white, and this is just a base. Alright guys, what I want you to do is really take a look at how crummy that white is. Okay, it's not meant as a final layer, it's meant as just sort of like a primer. On here, it's not supposed to look perfect. In fact, the more unperfect it looks, the better the model will actually become. There's that, and then the parchments that focused in there, and the seal itself is going to be red, a bright red, and the parchment there is going to be have a wash of a sepia or a brown wash if you don't have sepia. And a brown wash is just a light shade of brown that's in your collection, and you water it down. What I want you to see here are the eyes. Okay, see how horrible that looks? While this is to say that no one's perfect, but on the other hand, there's plenty of space now to put that red that people sort of hesitate on putting, or whatever color you want the eye lens to be. And so next we're going to put red on that, and then if you're feeling adventurous like I am, then you put highlights inside that red, and it'll be a lighter red than a white dot eventually. And so after that's done, you're going to have some white on the outline, some black on the outline, and you're just going to take your brush with the same color, the base color, and just go over it, sort of like a dry brush. And you got to remember, these models are sculpted so nicely that there are hard edges to the eye sockets and stuff, and so you really can't go wrong. And we're just going to go back and correct what we overpainted here. Okay, now having said that, most painters won't even touch a model for fear of messing up, and that's the one biggest mistake you can ever make, because if you're not messing up, then you're not trying, I suppose, or experimenting, and no one's going to get everything perfect the first time. And the more you paint, the more you model, the more you quote-unquote mess up, the better you'll be at modeling in general, because you're going to know how to correct something. You're going to run into new methods on how to get something painted nicely or sculpted nicely, or just simply modeled nicely. And so don't be afraid to mess up. That's why they invented erasers. That's why they invented white ink. So anyways, I hope that helps out a little bit, guys. The next step in this scenario is to put the red on, and then after we put the red on, then we're going to do the black we were talking about. And then after the black, it'll be the ink washes, and we're going to start with the sepia wash, and then after that end with the black wash, and all the way up until the black wash, these models will look not that great, but as soon as that wash gets on there, it's magic. Okay, it really makes the model pop and come alive. And then after that, we're going to decide if we're going to put any type of highlight on it. And the way we do highlights is one more lighter shade of green, but it'll probably be like sunburst yellow, and just almost dry brush it on, but not everywhere. And I'll go over that with you as soon as we get to that point. Thanks.